Hi all, welcome to another Seasons in Garden video. In this video I will continue working on the irrigation and setting up this part of the veg bed. For this I had to move a couple of plants, which was no big deal. I had to remove the edging from the section where the third garden bed is going to be, and then I had to dig a trench where my irrigation is going to be. Now, a little disclaimer, I'm not a professional, so I did what I thought would be a good idea, which now I know maybe was not a good idea in some cases, but it seemed like that. And I did everything in this manner. One thing that I'm afraid of is of the pipes that are in the ground, because I'm afraid that the ground will get too compacted because of us walking on it, and that this will distort the pipes in the ground. Now, I could be wrong. There's a chance that everything is fine and that there is no issues with the pipes in the ground, that it's actually less issues than if we left them on the ground. But yeah, we'll see what the future holds. So the first step that I did after digging up the entire trench was to cut the two pipes that are going to go into the beds, number 2 and number 3. I started first by doing the second bed irrigation, and for this I used a T-coupler and added the T-coupler onto the vertical line, which I did without any help, and it was difficult as hell. I have cut out the mesh where it needed to be cut out, and then I pushed the pipe through. Now, when I did this, I realized that I would first have to do the part towards the third bed and only then combine the first and the second bed. I did first cut the pipe to the size that I needed to combine the first two beds, and then with the rest of it I have connected first the part that goes towards the third bed, and only then did I connect the two first beds. It will all make sense in a couple of moments. What I used to make my life a bit easier and to work with the irrigation a bit more easily was some liquid dish soap, and this really made my life much easier. Also, the fact that it was a warm day with a lot of sunshine that helped to warm up the pipes helped a lot. I think that it would be impossible for me to do it on the day that I started it. This was like way better day for doing this sort of work. And even though I have used a little bit of dish soap, I still had to turn the pipe and push it and wiggle it so that it finally gets into the coupler and that it's firm enough, but it's much better than using fire. And this is the point where I realized that I will first need to connect the pipe towards the third bed and then connect the first two beds. So the same procedure. And what I also found out is that it's much easier to connect the pipes if you put the dish soap on the coupler itself and then you push the pipe onto the coupler. If you put the dishwasher soap inside the pipe, it just doesn't do as good of a job of lubricating everything as it does when you put it onto the coupler. One thing that I did wrong was to first try to combine the branch towards the third bed with the coupler and of the second bed, and then I had an idea, well, it won't be an issue to just push it through to the third bed. It was an issue. It was an issue. As you can see, I had to pull everything out and then put the vertical line again into the bed, and it was a much bigger issue right now because I had the foil and everything on. And this is the point in which I realized that it's much easier to do the irrigation before you put the foil in the bed. So first, you set up the bed where you want it to be and you don't push it all the way through. You just set it in the position. Second, you cut out the mesh at the bottom of the bed so that you can push the vertical line through. And then you start connecting it. And after you have connected everything, then you put the foil over the bed. And this is how it was looking. I have pulled the line all through to this little border over here, and I wanted to pull the irrigation pipe below this iron grate, but it turned out that below this iron grate we had asphalt. No way to pull it through. What I did instead was just covered the pipes with soil and also with a little bit of the mulch that I had. Now this is the part of the irrigation that I'm most nervous about. I think that it would have been better had I first put some sand around the pipe, so as a lower layer, and then put the soil atop, because sand isn't that easy to compact as the soil is. Also, the layer of mulch will actually transfer the weight to the soil a bit less than if it were only like a soil and if you were standing on it. The mulch is acting sort of like a sponge. And this is it. This is how it was looking at the end of the day. I had two beds that were planted. I planted some onions and carrots in this one. Oh, and radishes. The third one was still waiting for me to put the foil. We have removed the grate, and honestly, at this point I was just too tired, and that was it for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.